back to the Charles in Charge Cowboy Sports Report as I am attempting to do my fifth successful live show with a channel that's small. It's kind of hard to pull that off on a consistent basis. If you're watching this, you have not subscribed, this channel is still in an infant stage. As you can see, it's just my galaxy and I. My first goal is to reach 500 subs by week 1, September 10th against the Giants. 1,000 if possible. That'd be even better. When I reach 1,000, I'll be able to put back into this channel with a microphone, studio equipment, sound bites, a desktop just for this, for film and graphics, and all that, and a call-in line also, just like Law Nation has. That was the best thing he ever did on his channel. I will have that set up on mine also. I'm at like 340 right now, so I'm a buck 20 away from 500. YouTube changed it up. When you hit 500, you're able to do some things. 1,000 is really what I want to get to. And hit 1,000, this channel will grow exponentially. I can guarantee you that. So, if you're watching this, that means the show is a success. You'll probably fast forward to the 10, 15-minute mark. But before you do that, if you're watching and you have not subscribed, as you know, it's free. It's a free investment on your part. Because as we all love to watch Law Nation and these top-notch shows on YouTube, content creators, this show is on the way to being something very similar to that, if not as good, or maybe better. So, it seems to work for Mike Fisher, guys. Support me. I support Cowboys Nation all around. On the count of 3, guys, if we can hit that subscribe button, cost you nothing. It is a free investment. Check it out. On the count of 3, guys, let's hit that subscribe button. 1, 2, 3. Boom. If you hit it, you're a real one, and I love you for it. On the count of 3, like Mike Fisher says, helps beat the algorithms. Hit that like button, guys. On 1, 2, 3, we all like. If you did it, you're a real one, and I love you for it. So, gonna sit here and chill for 5, 10 minutes. Let the room kind of fill up a little bit. Got one person in here right now. What's going on, big dog? Talk to me. Title of this, show tonight is, could this defense that we have this season, could this defense be the best defense the Cowboys have ever put on the field? Better than the 2003 defense, better than the 95, 93, 92 defense, better than the 70s Doomsday defense. It has a shot. I can say that. I can say it's in the running, the running. Oh, this thing is so horrible. Okay. Okay, this tablet's not working very well. Whoever just tuned in, the room will fill up, so please don't leave. Got a good some fire to talk about tonight. Who's with me right now? Say something on the chat. It'll pop up on the cell. Let's see if it's going to pop up on the tablet. Just give me your record prediction for this 2023 season. Win-loss. Mine's 14-3. I'm pretty confident on that. I would bet on that. What's your win-loss prediction for this season? Going into training camp with the team that we have now. What do you say? Title of tonight's video is, could this defense that we're going to put on the field this season be the best that we have had in the history of our franchise? Is this defense this season going to be better than the 03 defense, the 95, the 92, the 93 defense, or the 70 Doomsday defenses? I think it has a good shot. Again, like I said, with the people that we have in place, I think this defense has the ability to be the best defense that we have put on the field in the history of our franchise. Two players will make the biggest difference to making that happen. Y'all know one of them already. Mozzie Smith. Hankins showed what he could do last season. If Mozzie Smith could be that gorilla in the middle, this defense, I think, will be the best defense that the Cowboys have ever put on the field in a season. 95, the defense was good. 92, 93. 2001, we had the number one ranked defense overall. In the 70s, we had the Doomsday defense. I think this season, it'll be one of the single season best defenses like the 2013 Seahawks, 2015 Broncos, '02 Bucks, in that category. It won't be quite like the 2000 Ravens, '85 Bears. Those two defenses are in a tier of themselves. They will never be touched. No team will ever allow 10 points a game again. 165 points in a 16-game season, allowing less than 1,000 yards rushing. That'll never happen again. Try to see if the chat is working on this. One of y'all two that are right now tuning in, just give me your record prediction. I know it'll pop up on the cell. I'm seeing if it'll pop up on the tablet as well. Engage with me, please. This room will fill up also. It's late night Cowboys talk. Let's talk shop, guys. Let's talk what we love. This has been a passion of mine since I was 6 years old. I'm 36 now. Been a passion of mine since I was 6. It's a long time. With me, it's God, family, Cowboys. That's how it is. Touch it. All messages. Okay. So all messages are visible now. All right. Can one of y'all chat something, please? So I know this damn thing is working. This is why I want to get a desktop just for this. So the live shows are real crisp and clean and whatnot. As y'all see, I finally learned how to edit my thumbnails. It's not just a picture of me with a weird face while I'm talking. I actually figured it out today. All messages are visible. Okay. So all messages are visible. Okay. One of y'all tell me our defensive ranking this year. You think we're going to rank 5th overall, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, or 1st? Put that in the chat. We'll start with that. We got 3 people in here now. We get 3 more. We got ourselves a crowd. Bottom line, hey, what's up? This is Flo from the Bottom Line Sport. Hey, what's going on, big dog? Bottom Line Sports. Okay, yeah, my tablet officially sucks because I cannot see this chat thread, so I'll be able to see it as you say it on the cell phone. I'm starting off just like Law did. He started off with him and his cell phone. So, bottom line, what do you think our defense is going to rank this season? Yeah, I think we have a top 5 defense too. That's no doubt. We had a top 5 defense last year. But being that San Fran last 2 years in a row set the number 1 defense, this offseason they lose nobody. They get Javon Hargrave from Philly, which if he could have went anywhere, that was the worst place to go. So the defensive line, that was really good, is even better now. And he got the All-Pro Samoan safety, Taya Tuilafalunga, like Troy Polamalu Jr. And if he progresses from last year to this next season, he's going to solidify that secondary with Chardavius Ward, who is a decent cornerback. Now the Niners defense has always had this strong front seven, weak back end. Now with this Samoan safety kid, that's like Palomalu, it's going to be close. We're going to finish second or first. I'll put my money on first because I think we're deeper in the front seven and our secondary is better, hands down. I think this season, 2023 will be the best defense that we have put on the field in the history of our franchise. I know 92 and 93 we had like top defense. I think we hit 4-3 depending on Gilmore. Yeah, Mozzie Smith will be the key to this. If we feel the best defense that we ever have, Mozzie Smith will be key to this. Jonathan Hankins, we saw what he could do last year after we traded for him. We saw the film breakdown on him. Jonathan Hankins could still take on a center and a guard at the same time, or guard and a tackle. So if Mozzie, who's a lot younger and has got that gorilla strength, can do the same thing, that's going to open up the entire defense in every facet. And it's going to make number 11 Defensive Player of the Year unanimously. It won't even be like a close vote. He's been second the last 2 years. He was second to T.J. Watt, second to Nick Bosa. If Mozzie Smith wreaks havoc up the middle and Micah Parsons has a Defensive Player of the Year season unanimously, a season that we haven't had a defender have in like a decade or so, we will have the number one ranked defense. And we will be probably putting out the best defense that we ever have. I know the 95 squad, you could name that roster, Hall of Famers on that defense. But this defense, Deron Bland was a bright spot last year. Yeah, we're hoping that Bland will take a step forward. 5th round steal. Jordan Lewis goes down, Liz Frank injury. Who's to fill in? Deron Bland comes in, doesn't miss a beat. I think the only bad game he had, I think he had like one bad game after filling in for Jordan Lewis. And other than that, he played solid, and came up with 5 interceptions playing half a season. Now, I've noticed Dan Quinn's players progress. They really don't go the other way. Only one, maybe Neville Gallimore, has been a disappointment. He hasn't progressed. But everybody else that he picked up in 2021 from now has gotten better under his tutelage. J-Ron Curse was a nobody that we picked up. A nobody, and he's turned him into a premier safety. We have the best safety room in the NFL. And none of our safeties are in the top 10 highest paid list. That's what's up. Hitman Wilson's underrated by the media last year. He came up, oh man, Donovan Wilson. When I saw that we re-signed him, I was elated, ecstatic, because he's that safety that lays the wood on everybody coming across the middle. And he's that safety that meets the running back in the hole. He is what Cam Chancellor was to Seattle in 2013, 2014. That's what he is to us. Dan Quinn is making Donovan Wilson his Cam Chancellor. He's kind of remaking his Legion of Boom, but with a little bit of spice, a little bit of mixture, a little bit of gumbo. It's not the exact same defense, but it's very, very similar. We knew Donovan Wilson was special his rookie season 2020. That preseason, he had a couple interceptions. That year, he had a couple big-time plays. He's making Donovan Wilson his lay-the-lead guy. Boy can hit. And he's making J-Ron Curse He's making him his Earl Thomas. Now, I don't think he's as good as Earl Thomas, of course. Earl Thomas, all pro, all world. But he's kind of turning J. Ron Kirks into his Earl Thomas, guy that can, play the outfield pretty well. That's really Malik Hooker's job, but he's never lived up to the first round pick hype. He had Bobby Wagner at middle linebacker when he was with Seattle. He got Damone Clark for a reason. Everybody kept saying that the Eagles with Nakobe Dean in the third round had the biggest steal in the draft. And I begged to differ, and I kept saying, we got the biggest steal with Damone Clark in the fifth round, 2 rounds later. Nakobe Dean, yeah, he was good in college. But if you think about it, he had 4 NFL defensive linemen in front of him. All 4 of them went in the first round. The 2 linebackers playing on each side of him went in the first round. What's up, Chris Gons? Appreciate you for jumping in, my man. And Damone Clark, who was given the number 18, they don't give that number to just anybody, did more than Nakobe Dean did with a lot less. He had one guy on his defense go in the first round, Darryl Stingley, to Houston, cornerback. And they both dropped in the draft because of injury. They were both healthy around the same time last season. They didn't trust Nakobe Dean to play. Why not? In the games that they had the lead, they were comfortably ahead, they didn't trust him to go out there and play. We did. When Damone Clark was healthy, we say, go and get out there, even though we had Anthony Barr and Leighton Vander Esch and Jabril Cox, and we had linebackers. But we put Damone Clark out there, and he played very well. You don't have to read it. Oh, okay. Gotcha, my man. Just whenever people chat, usually they want to chat. Said, hey, bottom line, have you subscribed? And are you a content creator yourself? Because my channel's in the infant stage right now. I'm at like 339. I'm gonna hit 500 before week 1. When I hit 1,000, it's gonna grow exponentially. I've got 30 years of Cowboys in this head, and when I get the bells and whistles to go with it, I can make this show magical, like on the reels. I was going to go over some stats from 2020, 2021, the last season, now going into this season, to project what I think will be the best defense that we've ever had. And a lot of people are saying that in today's NFL, you can't win by defense. You got to have a top-notch offense. Oh, okay, gotcha. But have you subbed yet though? Because if you do now, you'll be, I think, 340. And I'd be $120 away from 500. So, 2020, we have Mike Nolan, right? Mike McCarthy doing a favor for an old friend. Cool, my man. I appreciate it, bum. Appreciate it. I'm gonna check you out too. We all gotta support each other, man. Yeah. I'm for sure gonna check you out, brother. Cowboy Nation, we all gotta support each other. And YouTube content creators is where it's at. More people are watching us than they are the guys on the 3 and 4 letter networks. Because half of them don't know what they're talking about. They really don't. Spending a life in journalism or ex-players. LaShawn McCoy on Speak for Yourself sickens me because his points don't make any damn sense every time they talk about the Cowboys. He is just biased against the Cowboys, which is fine, but make a valid point. He won his Super Bowls with Tampa and Kansas City. He never won one with the Eagles. So he should show his allegiance to the teams that got him a ring. So our evolution comes. Isn't it like the best feeling whenever you know somebody that's a fan of a team and you flip them and they completely convert to your team? When I got with my wife, she was a Texan fan, Houston Texans, her and the family. And the more she watched the Texans, the more she got disgusted because they just never wanted to win. They had one good season, 2012. And then when she'd watch the Cowboys with me, even if we didn't win, our game was exciting. I mean, we was always a cardiac Cowboys. 2011 to now, she has 100% converted and now bleeds blue and silver. I'm very proud of her about that. Flag bed sheets, boy, you going all out, man. In the new house that we're gonna get here soon, in God's will, yeah, I think a cowboy comforter would be like super cool. All right, so 2020, right? Mike McCarthy lies, gets a job, hires Mike Nolan to be the defensive coordinator. There's no practice. It's COVID year, so everything is, you know, online. They're having, online strategy meetings. He makes a super complex defense. We have like the worst defense that we ever had in the history of our franchise. In 2020, we allowed 473 points. That's a lot. In 16 games, what would that equal in points per game? I don't know. I didn't write that down. But 473 points. Deepest defensive tackle. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Chris. Depth is the name of the game, and we are on defense. We are deep in every area, even linebacker. People think that we're not deep at linebacker, but we are. Jabril Cox is untapped talent that Dan Quinn is tapping into right now. Oh yeah, man, Dan Quinn. I think he wants to win a Super Bowl with his defense that he's built. The reason why I think Dan Quinn, one reason why I think he didn't leave, is because he's last two seasons he's built a defense that has led the league in takeaways the last 2 years. Last season the defense was locked down. 20 points would have beat the Niners. And he knows that this season we have a good shot at getting to Vegas. And if anybody's going to win a Super Bowl with his defense, he wants it to be him. And he knows with the third year with this unit that if we thought we saw something last season, wait for this year. Because this year is going to be bottoms out, baby. So Mike Nolan's defense, that was when we brought in Alden Smith, had 3 sacks against the Seahawks. I remember, and we still lost that game. 473 points we allowed. We allowed 6,183 yards. That's horrific. We allowed 3,642 passing yards, 34 touchdowns, 10 picks. Shoot, man. I wish I could have read that. Chat, how does this tablet, I'm live watching my show on this tablet, how does it not have a thing for the chat? I mean, if I was on this tablet watching a show and I wanted to say something, I wouldn't be able to. It's ridiculous. We only had 10 picks that year. We allowed 2,541 rushing yards, 20 rushing touchdowns. We were allowing 5 yards a carry in 2020. We had 91 penalties, 733 yards. We only had 31 sacks. We had 15 forced fumbles, 23 takeaways in total. Insert Dan Quinn, 2021. We were just hoping our defense would be better. It couldn't be any worse. I mean, it was historically the worst defense that we had put on the field since the inauguration of our team. In 2021, Dan Quinn goes from Yes, Mike Nolan. Yep. I agree with you there, Chris. So in one off season, 2021, Dan Quinn comes in. We go from allowing 437 point. We go from allowing 473 yard. I'm tripping. Apologies. We go from allowing 473 points to allowing 358 points. That is 358, 458, 468. That's 115 less in one season. That's 21.1 points a game. We allow 5,961 yards. So we did allow a lot of yards that year, similar to 2020. But we were kind of bend but don't break. Pass yards was 4,049. We had 24 touchdowns allowed against us, and we had 26 picks. So we had more interceptions than we did passing touchdowns against our defense. We had 41 sacks, 13 forced fumbles, 34 takeaways, number one in the league. Last season, we allowed 342 points. That is 16 less than the year before. Better. Points per game were like 20.3, something like that, points per game that we allowed, which is in this today era is pretty good. We allow 5,613 total yards last year. Passing yards, only 3,415 passing yards. It's not much. 23 passing touchdowns. We got 16 picks. Now, the problem was we allowed 2,198 rushing yards. The majority of that came before the trade deadline, before we got Jonathan Hankins. Because if you look at the stat line before and after Hankins, there is a difference. Allowed 9 rushing touchdowns, only 4.4 yards a carry. I mean, only. It's not good, but again, before the trade deadline, we were getting gashed up the middle. That's why we got Hankins, and that's why we got Mozzie with the number one pick. We haven't drafted a nose tackle in the first round since 1991. That's a long time. And then we have 98 penalties, 851 yards off of them, 54 sacks. Damn it, I missed that. I missed. I'm trying to catch the chats, guys. When I'm looking down, I don't see it. 54 sacks, 23 forced fumbles, 33 takeaways. Hey, babe, are you done with your cell phone? Okay, can I see real quick? All right, I'll be able to see the chats now, guys. My wife's cell phone actually works opposed to this tablet. So in the trend that we're going, thank you, going from allowing 473 points to allowing 358 points to allowing 342 points last year, I think we're going to go probably allow about 300 points this year, maybe less. Here, let me log in to our show through here, and then I'll be able to see every chat that y'all said. Boom. There we go. Live chat. All right, there we go. All right, so bottom line says, I feel like Jerry's going to end up re-signing Zeke. I said the same thing. I'm not mad though. We could use him as at a cheaper price. We need Elliott. We need him as a power back. We need a power back. Look at that San Fran game before Pollard got hurt. When Pollard got hurt, he couldn't do nothing but Look at that 4th and 1. With that third, yeah, it was a 3rd and 1. When he gave him the ball, and Solomon Thomas went through the back door of Zach Martin, Elliott gets hit 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, gets to the line of scrimmage, and has a poise to be able to reach the ball over the first down marker and get the first down. That was a huge play. He is a great power back now. He's not a fast guy. He's not a home run hitter. Strictly a power back. In his first 13 games, 4.2 yards a carry, 10 touchdowns. Great pass pro. What more could you ask for? Chris Gaunt said Mike Nolan and then Jim Tomasula coach. Yeah, they were a disaster in 2020. 2013. Yeah. Dan Quinn was the best offseason move in 21. Yeah, 2021, our best offseason moves was Dan Quinn and Micah Parsons. What's that? Let me see what it says. uh, yeah, so I'm getting sidetracked here. Uh, here, text Dexter, pick something up for me real quick. So, this is my prediction for this season. Is we've made these giant leaps, right? In '95, our defensive line consisted of what? Chad Hennings, Leon Lett, Charles Haley. Our linebackers, what? Darren Smith. Uh, our secondaries, Kevin Smith, Prime Time, Darren Woodson, Brock Marion. That was pretty damn solid defense, especially with the best cornerback of all time. In 2003, when we finished #1 overall, our defensive line had what? Leroy Glover and Willie Blade on the inside, Greg Ellis and Ebenezer Ekubon on the ends. Our linebackers were Dat Wynn, Dexter Coakley, and Al Singleton. Secondary was rookie Terrence Williams, opposite Mike Jenkins, Roy Williams, and Darren Woodson, which was the best safety tandem I have probably seen in my life. Darren Woodson and Roy Williams in his second year. Man, was that something. Roy Williams was that strong box safety, knock your rocks off, and Darren Woodson was that great outfielder. Yeah, I can read right here. You feel like we're gonna go? You think we're gonna go 13-4 tops? I don't trust Dak 100% either, but yeah, that's why McCarthy's gonna simplify the offense. Because Prescott, I've got this theory that Dak Prescott has got Jerry Jones syndrome. It's like if we get to Vegas and go all the way, Dak Prescott wants it to be because of him. He wants it to be because he threw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns in every game in the playoffs and most of the games during the season. When he is not a prolific passer, he's a great game manager, but not a prolific passer. Now, don't get me wrong. He can shred you. As we saw Christmas Eve, the Eagles come out with a #3 ranked defense. They win that game. They clinch the division. Charles, our schedule is tough, man. Not only our division, non-conference, we got the NFC West. We got Buffalo, Seattle, Miami, the Jets, Chargers. Yeah, we have a tough schedule. You know what? The Eagles have a tougher schedule. A tough schedule is the only difference between this season and last season. This season coming up is we got the NFC West, right? That's the Niners, the Seahawks, the Rams, and the Cards. Arizona, really not looking like much of a threat. You throw the Rams, Seattle was up and coming. Seattle had the best draft, in my opinion. Well, I mean, 2 picks in the first two, 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. uh, we played the NFC North last season. Minnesota, Detroit, Green Bay, and Chicago. We got better this year than we were last year. Last season, we were just a draft and develop team. This year, we didn't lose anybody, and we got the speed receiver that we haven't gotten in 20 years. It's been 20 years since we've had a good speed receiver. Can anybody guess who that was? Not just a speed receiver, but a good one. Somebody that could be your number one. Brandon Cooks has been a number one his whole career. He's number one with New Orleans. He was number one with the Rams. It'll make us a better football team. I think tougher team. It'll make us tougher. Totally agree. Yes, iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. Like Paul says, it says it in the Bible too. I believe it does. It's good to have a tough schedule. In the early 90s, our division was super tough. In 92, 93, 94, it was a scrap to win the East. In 93, Emmitt Smith's famous separated shoulder game, we're playing the Giants in week 15 for the division. It's late in the fourth quarter. His shoulder is dislocated, and he stays in the game, and they keep feeding him the rock, and we win the game on the back of Emmitt running the football with a dislocated shoulder against that Giants defense. And that's how tough the division was for us to get that number one seed in 93 to host San Fran in the championship game. John Madden went down to the field after the game to shake Emmitt's hand because he had never seen a performance as gutsy as that one. Can somebody answer my question? Who was the last good speed receiver that we had that could be a number one for us? I give you a hint. We traded a ransom for him. It's been 20 years since we had a speed receiver. And if we had Brandon Cooks last year, we would have been 14-3. I put anything on that. That was an unbelievable performance with Smith. Dislocated his shoulder. Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper has a fraction. Yes, Dano. Joey Galloway. You get playoff tickets. No. I'm just kidding. Whoever donates the most to the channel by week 18 gets playoff tickets, maximum 3, 50-yard line, lower deck. I don't even know if this is legible. It's CM65466 with a money sign. Yes, Dano. Joey Galloway. Last good fast receiver that we had. Our schedule is tougher this year. Yes, but our team is better. We got a fly guy, Brandon Cooks, that will make the safety stay deep. Because if they don't, and he gets off the line and beats his guy, it's a rainbow. Lamb worked the middle. Gallup, who was just an X receiver, not a slot, just guy on the edge, will have his second leg back this year. We'll have a cornerback too this season. A future Hall of Fame cornerback too. Now, I know it was 2018 when he won Defensive Player of the Year, so 2019, 2020, 4 seasons removed. So it's not like he is a shell of himself. He is still a very good corner. He was top 10 corner last season. A lot of people think he's our number 1 corner this year, and Diggs is number 2. we shall see. I know Diggs gonna have a lot more targets this year. He didn't have a lot last season because we had no corner too. So our schedule is harder, yes, but our team is better. We allowed that basically 2,200 rushing yards we allowed last year. The majority of those came before the trade deadline. And the 3 games that Hankins was out. Galloway, yep. We also did that King's Ransom deal too, which did not work out. Roy Williams. Oh, yeah. 2008, Jerry Jones, which I wish he would do what he did in 2008 now. After 2007, our disappointing fall to the Giants because Terrell Owens has to break his leg week 15 against Carolina to wrap up the 1 seed. Terrell Owens, 2 years on a Super Bowl team, he breaks his leg. '04 with the Eagles, '07 with us. He breaks his leg week 15. He comes back in the divisional round, but he is not himself. He's like 50%. That killed us right there. If Terrell Owens would have been healthy, we'd have beat the Giants. I would put anything on that. He was the Giant killer that year. And then the next season, Jerry Jones was like, man, we're so good. We're going all in. We get Pac-Man Jones. We'll get Zach Thomas from Miami. Anybody and anybody who come out, just trying to make a super team. And then mid-season, like Chris Gahn said, we traded a first for wide receiver Roy Williams. So we get out Terrell Owens, Roy Williams, Patrick Creighton, Jason Witten, this amazing receiving core. And we go 8-8. That was bad. that was hard to watch. Roy Williams was good, but I don't know. Whenever he came to us, I mean, all he had to do was be receiver number 2, which you think he would have excelled at being, but he just kind of squandered it away. So, back to the topic. Can this defense this season yeah. I know, Dano. You just gotta see to believe. I know. You firmly believe the Eagles are better in the trenches. You think they got better playmakers and better quarterback. Jalen Hurts was super good last year because he averaged 20 carries a game. They were not all called carries. He had, I mean, some were called, but he scrambled a lot. He cannot sustain that this season, especially with $50 million a year on his head now. Miles Sanders is gone. Chris Carson is okay. He's just a guy. DeAndre Swift can be pretty good, but he's not had a healthy season his whole career. He has never eclipsed 700 yards rushing in a season. Now, unless they want to run Jalen Hurts into the ground, like he almost was knocked out of the season last year against Chicago. Damn near broke his clavicle. If we would have blown those 2 leads that we had, we would have forced their hand on Christmas Eve to maybe make him play. I don't know if they would have, because then they would have really risked him, really injuring it and him miss the whole entire postseason. Charles and Patrick Creighton did not drop that ball in the playoffs against the Giants. That year we would have beaten them. I think too bad he dropped it. He was gone. Shit, man, that game was so long ago. I remember specific plays. I don't remember a Creighton drop, but I don't doubt it. There was a lot of plays left on that field where we go up 14-7 with a minute left in the first half. Well, no, it was like 47 seconds left in the first half. We go 14-7. Marion Barber punches it in, and with that 47 seconds, the Giants score a touchdown. Amani Toomer gets a pass. breaks like 5 tackles. Roy Williams, who made the Pro Bowl, just falls down. It was sickening. And it goes into halftime, tied at 14. I get what you're saying, but it's not like Dak has been healthy. Nah, he's said 2020 broke his leg. 2019, 2021 had that lat pull. That's like a baseball pitcher injury. And then he starts off great in 21, and then against the Patriots in overtime, strains his calf, throwing the game-winning touchdown past the Lamb. And after that, he wasn't the same in 2021 after he had that calf strain. It was weird. And last season, he breaks his thumb. I think he came back too quick. And I think he came back too quick because people were starting to, he was starting to hear the whispers. Quarterback controversy. Cooper Rush, 4-0. Almost beat Philly. If he didn't go out there and play out of his zone in the first half, we probably would have beat the Eagles. But Cooper Rush comes out in the first half, really wants that win. And he throws 3 first half interceptions, and we have a turnover on downs, all in the first half, all in our territory. And our defense stifles the Eagles' offense and holds them off. And in the fourth quarter, it's a 3-point game. If our defense makes the stop after that Ferguson touchdown, I believe Cooper Rush takes us down and we go up 24-20. I really do. And Dak was not having that. So the next week against Chicago, who was struggling, no, it was Detroit, yeah. So Detroit, the record wasn't too good at the time, so he was like, okay, I'll come back against this team that doesn't have that good of a defense. We put up 24, and then the week after that, 41 against Chicago. The Eagles in the trenches, Dano. With Javon Hargrave, it made their defensive interior dominant. Now Fletcher Cox is still good. Now he's a year older. Jordan Davis is out of shape. He was horrible last year. The new kid they got is already having problems off the field. He's like a prima donna. He's suing Georgia for whatever the hell he wants to sue him for. Jalen Carter. I got to see what Jalen Carter can do before I believe in him. Because Jordan Davis was supposed to transform that defense last year. He didn't do anything. Hargrave was the interior. He was. 12 sacks from the inside on top of being able to be a run stuffer. That's why he got $20 million a year from San Fran, because the Niners, with the number 1 defense already, knew if they got a defensive tackle like that to team up with Nick Bosa on the defensive line, they could rush 4 guys and get home, because Hargrave can collapse the inside and Bosa can just beat anybody. I mean, Nick Bosa makes his older brother look average, and that's saying something. If Prescott just stays with the game plan Mike McCarthy's going to put together, Mike knows quarterbacks. He's coached the best of them, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Just simple. If Dak plays the way that Cooper Rush did, don't do what you don't have to. Let the run game do what it does. Let your defense do what it does. If it's 3rd down and 7 and the ball, the pass ain't there, don't throw it. Live to see another punt. Punt, let your defense do what they do to get you the ball back. Don't throw it into double, triple coverage thinking that you Peyton Manning, because you're not. I don't know if you got this from Jerry Jones, but I think if we win, that Dak wants it to be because of him. He wants everybody to say, "Wow, we were wrong. Dak Prescott is an amazing quarterback. He threw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. And, you know, he looked like Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs." He needs to understand that's not what it's about. Whenever we won our Super Bowls in the 90s, Dano, you were in your 20s. I was in grade school. Troy Aikman didn't care if he had 19 pass attempts for a buck 25 and a touchdown. He was just happy that they won. If Emmett went off for like 175 and our defense played shut down, and Troy had 19 attempts for 125 yards and a touchdown, he didn't care. Troy Aikman was smart enough to know to play what's given to him, not to do too much. Troy could thread any kind of needle. He was a prolific passer, but he didn't need to be all the time. And when he didn't need to be, he wasn't. He knew when to be and when not to be. That's what Dak has to learn. Chris Goins, Charles, I'm so sick and tired of Eagles. Yes, they're gonna have a good team, but their fans think they're gonna go 20-0. I know. 19-1, 18-2, all these crazy. The Super Bowl hangover is pretty real. The Bengals, surprisingly, didn't suffer from it. But the majority of teams that lose the Super Bowl the next year, even with a good squad, don't have the season they expect. What, 2018, the Rams? 2019, they were not very good. 2019, what, Kansas City wins, San Fran loses, San Fran doesn't have a good 2020 season. 2020, Tampa Bay beats Kansas City. Well, Kansas City, of course, bounces back. Eagles are not unstoppable. Just saying, if you look at overall, they're better in the key areas. Dano, I would say they're more proven in the key areas. I'll give you that. They're more proven. They're more proven. They proved it last year. But they've had key departures. Key departures on all-star players. That's what I'm saying. We lost nobody. The only person we lost that you could say that we lost was Dalton Schultz. Everybody else that's not on the team this year that was on the team last year, we let walk, a la Anthony Brown, Anthony Barr, uh, release Elliott outright, Connor McGovern, let him walk. No TJ Edwards for Philly. No Kazir White. Now, Kazir White was pretty average. TJ Edwards was a top Mike linebacker. And if Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis don't do their job as expected, Nakobe Dean is not going to look very, very good. And he didn't even play last year because they didn't trust him. So they're more proven. I'll give you that. But that was last year, man. This is this year. Their offensive line, super solid. Isaac Samalu, very, very underrated right guard, goes to Pittsburgh. It's going to be either Cam Jurgens, the replacement for Jason Kelsey when he retires, or Tyler Steen, the third-round pick, tackle that can flex to guard, who will play at that position. So either be a rookie or a second-year guy who hasn't played a real snap in the NFL. That could make a big difference. And Kelsey and Lane Johnson are a year older also. That, does have some effect. Our oldest offensive lineman is 32. Kelsey is 38. Lane Johnson's like 36. Every year they lose half a step. The left side is super strong. Mailata and Dickerson. I I see them running off that left side a lot, opposed to the right side this season. But without Jalen Hurts running the ball 20 times a game, that offense is not going to be that efficient as it was last year. It was Jalen Hurts running the ball 20 times a game that made defenses lose their mind. That's why I didn't understand why defensive coordinators didn't put a spy on him during the game. Your fastest linebacker, especially on passing downs, put a spy on him. Don't let him get away. Chris Gons, yes, Charles, we did not lose major guys on our team. I think we got better in some areas. Our Cowboys, like wide receiver Cooks and Gilmore. Cooks and Gilmore were the biggest moves of the offseason. Besides Aaron Rodgers going from Green Bay to the Jets, the two biggest moves this offseason were us giving pennies to get Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore, two blue chip players. They weren't just JAGs. They weren't just guys. These are impact players, man. When we had Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and Randall Cobb, that was a good receiving core. But neither of the three could take the top off the defense. When we had Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup, that was a really good receiving core. But we didn't have one of those three that could just take the top off of defense. Now we have CeeDee Lamb, who is now an alpha number one, better than Amari Cooper. I'm going to say it right now, he's better than Cooper now, especially if he progresses this season. Cooper has never had over 100 balls in a single season. CeeDee Lamb got over 100 catches, 1,350 yards after having a horrible start. First 6 games, he looked like lamb chops. The last 11, he turned it on and became the man. The alpha male, the outspoken leader like Dez Bryant was, like Michael Irvin was, earning that 88. Michael Gallup, when he's on 2 legs, is a good receiver. He is, 2019? He was a 1,000-yard receiver. 2020, he was a 1,000-yard receiver. Now we got Brandon Cooks as part of our trio that can take the top off of defense. That changes things a lot, having a receiver with that kind of speed. And everybody sees his speed is not just when he runs a go route. That's his speed when he runs any kind of route. He's just fast. It's no coincidence that in 2017, with the Patriots, they went to the Super Bowl. If he doesn't get a concussion in the first quarter, they beat Philly. And then 2018, he goes to the Rams. They go to the Super Bowl. And he gets dropped by one of the greatest defensive minds in the history of the game. Now, the point of this video was, we're going all over the place. The point of this video is, can this defense this season be the best defense that we've ever put on the field in the history of our franchise since 1960? Since 1960, when we were born. That's what we looked like. That was our first helmet logo, second, our third, and then our fourth, and we pretty much kept it that way, just tuned it up a little bit here and there. Dana, we're all hoping that we run the ball and limit Dak's throws. Who's running the ball? We all know Pollard is not a 3-down back. Now, Pollard is a 15 carry back. I bet you Deuce Vaughn is at least a 10 carry down back. I bet you Malik Davis carried the ball 15 times. Pretty good. We better get this offensive line situated. Now, the starting 5 right now looks beautiful. I mean, if Ty Smith could just miss 3 games like he did from 2016 to 2019, Ty Smith, Tyler Smith, Biadash, Martin, and Steele, that is a hell of a starting 5. But the depth is not there. That's the problem. Yeah, Pollard is great. 15 carries is really his max. That's where you want him at. That's why against Green Bay, that's why we lost against the Packers. Because Elliott was hurt, and in the fourth quarter, Pollard was gassed. Tony Pollard had no more in him. I mean, they couldn't even inject him with something to get him going again. He was done. Therefore, we had to pass the ball and pass the ball in the fourth quarter with a two touchdown lead. Now, had Elliott been there, he'd have salted the game away. Pollard was the second most explosive player last season behind the Cheetah. That's how valuable he is. That's why I say, Dano, if he wouldn't have got hurt, even though he wasn't rushing for 5, 6 yards a carry, I think he would have made 2 or 3 big splash plays to get us in the scoring range. He'll be 100% this season. Deuce Vaughn is going to be special, guys. LaDainian Tomlinson knows what he's talking about. How he fell to the 6th round was a gift from God, because in the 6th round, we all thought he had already been taken. I mean, some people had him going in the 2nd. And then when they said, I was watching, and I'm like, we haven't even taken a running back yet. And it's Deuce Vaughn. I was like, what? He is available? No way. And with a running back that small, that shifty, they could just be killers when they're young. I mean, look at Darren Sproles when he played for the Chargers in his first 4 seasons. He was dynamically deadly. I remember in the playoffs in 2008 against Indianapolis, Darren Sproles had the touchdown in overtime to win the game, and it was just sick. It was like a little screen pass, and he was just this shifty little, it was amazing. Darren Sproles will make the team. He'll be part of the running back trio. Question is, who's going to be running back number 3? Or he'll probably be running back number 3. Who's going to be running back number 2? Can Malik Davis pass pro? If he can, I think he's got a good shot of making some waves. He looked good his rookie season. And Malik Davis was a UDFA, right? We're pretty good at grooming UDFAs into real players. My point is we want to be a run-first team, and Dak can play action. And Dak is one of the best to play action, but we don't have a bell cow runner. Yes, when the run game is working, Dak is amazing. He is. We're not going to have a bell cow runner. We haven't had a true bell cow, since 2019, to be honest. Zeke hasn't been the bell cow. He's been the running back that got the majority of the carries. He's been the running back number 1, but we haven't had the bell cow. A running back by committee will still work. A running back by committee is actually kind of better, because you don't wear the bell cow down. Pollard, Deuce Vaughn, and running back number 3 split carries every game. They stay fresh all season. That is what is better than one bell cow back. Chris Goss, I like our defense. Tank Lawrence, Micah Parsons, Dorrance, Mozzie, OC, Chauncey, Diggs, Gilly, Deron. We should wreak havoc this year. Yes, we should. So is my question. Do y'all think this year, 2023, do y'all think this defense could be the best defense in the history of our franchise this season? Do you think that we can allow 15 points a game? We've never allowed that few a game. 15 points a game. Let's do the math. 15 times 17. 15 times 10 is 150. And then 7 times 15, 105. Oh, man, math. 15 times 17. What is that? 150. 7 times 15. 255. 255 would be allowing 15 points a game. Y'all think this defense can allow 255 points allowed, 15 points a game? I think they can. They allowed 342 last season, averaging like 20.3 a game. And that was without a cornerback number two and without meat in the interior. That was out without a gorilla on the inside. Hankins didn't come on until late in the season. And cornerback two is a hell of a cornerback two. He's probably cornerback one. And Mozzie, the way we draft first rounders, I think Mozzie's going to freaking wreck the whole league at defensive tackle. The way we pick in round one, I mean, the only first round picks that we have missed on since the Will McClay era, is what, Mo Claiborne, who he just wasn't a star. Mo Claiborne and Taco Charlton. Every other first round pick that we drafted has been big time, all pro or Hall of Fame, going to be a Hall of Famer. So you're counting on Vaughn and Malik to be great this year. That's a big if. I love the defense, but the offense is dysfunctional. I'm counting on Deuce Vaughn and Malik Davis, one of the two, to be part of the running back trio. I think both of them have good potential. Deuce Vaughn probably has the edge over Davis just because of the hype. And if we bring on Zeke back, or this kid Hunter Lupiki, or if Ronald Jones, who's in his fifth year, somehow, in a new place, new scenery, has a resurrection in his career, I think we'll be all right. Tony Pollard, 15 carries, right? We're probably aiming for 45 a game. So we need two other backs that can carry the ball 15 times. Deuce Vaughn and Malik Davis could easily be one of the two. And then we're just looking for a third one. That's why I say bring back Elliott. He had 230 carries last year. His body's too worn down for that many. So if you bring him back, he can carry the ball 150 times and be fresh all season. And then Deuce can take them 80 carries away. and then Deuce will probably average over 5, just like Tony Pollard. Three running backs, a three-headed monster in the backfield. It's better than a combo punch like you had Chubb and Hunt for a while, or Kamara and Ingram. It's like having that, but having a third back to complement the other two backs. I don't know if the offense is dysfunctional, though, man. I mean, you're talking about the last two seasons, number 1 overall, number 4 overall. And we were number 4 overall last year, scoring 3 week 1, scoring 20 week 2, scoring 23 week 3, scoring 25 week 4, and 25 week 6. Those are low scoring games. We didn't put up a whole lot of stats or points. And we still wound up being a number 4 ranked offense. Chris Gons, who's my breakout player on offense and defense? I put a lot of thought into this. Breakout player on offense, gonna be Jake Ferguson. Schoonmaker's a second round pick at tight end. I think he'll have a good season. I think Jake Ferguson is going to turn heads as our tight end number 1. I think he's going to go out there and make freaking plays. I mean, He's going to look like a seasoned veteran out there on big third downs. He's going to become Dak's comfort blanket quick. I believe that 100%. Jake Ferguson has that that thing about him that you can't coach. He was a round 4 pick. Jason Witten was a round 3 pick. Even Travis Kelsey sees it, and they wear the same number. I love it. But even Travis Kelsey sees the work of Jake Ferguson and says, "Yeah, I better watch this boy. He's gonna be something." On offense, it'll be Jake Ferguson. On defense, breakout play on defense, we all know it's gonna be Sam Williams. Sam Williams had what four sacks last season. This year he breaks 10. And what's funny is last year I predicted that we would have 4 guys get 10 or more sacks. I don't think it's ever been done, right? And at the midway point, yes, Dano, you agree with me, Sam Williams. Yes, sir. At the midway point, it was looking like we were going to have 4 guys get over 10 sacks. After 9 games, Dorrance Armstrong has 8. Tank Lawrence has 5, I think. Micah is like almost already there. And then Dante Fowler was at like 5 or 4 or something like that. And then, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, man, we're going to get 4 guys over 10 sacks. And then Tank Lawrence had like one or 2 more sacks the whole season. Dorrance Armstrong had a half a sack. Mike is the only one to get to 10. He clips it. He got 13. And then the Eagles are the ones that had 4 guys to get 10 plus sacks. I was like, ain't that a bitch? I predicted that for our team, and then Philly gets it. We were the sack leaders the whole season, and then somehow Philly just at the end just beat us across the finish line to be number 1 in sacks and have 4 guys get over 10. They had what? Josh Sweat, Hargrave, Hassan Reddick, and who was the 4th one? Brandon Graham. I think Graham got 10. Chris Gant, good picks. Charles for me. I'd say Jalen Tolbert, and then Sam Williams. You know why we drafted Sam, right? Whenever we got lucky, we got blessed by God. Whenever Randy Gregory's contract didn't work out and he went to Denver, we drafted Sam Williams in the 2nd round to replace him specifically. If you look at them, they are like almost the exact same build, except Sam Williams is a little bit bigger, a little bit faster, and he's not stupid. So Randy Gregory's cap maximum best seasons for us was 2 6-sack seasons. He had 6 sacks twice. He's suspended so many damn times. He was suspended the entire 2020 season, right? And then many times before that. And he goes to Denver, and it's just a train. It's a train wreck. They're having buyer's remorse right now by giving Gregory the bag. We lucked out that we did not give him the bag. Sam Williams, for a fraction of the price, is giving us better production. And that's why I think Dorrance is expendable. $7.5 million against a cap. If you trade him or cut him, you're saving $7.5 million. And I want that left guard. I know Tyron Smith and Tyler Smith. I mean, Tyler Smith would be a badass left guard. I know he would. He's badass left tackle, he's good on the left side. And then Biedash, who Pro Bowl and tight. Did y'all know? Check this out. Tyler Biedash hadn't allowed a sack in the last 2 seasons. Did you know that? I didn't know that until today. He's actually better than we give him credit for. And he made the alternate Pro Bowl last season. And you got Hall of Famers like Martin and Terrence Steele heels up. You got that Eric Williams right tackle. It's a great starting 5, but the depth isn't there. You would have Matt Willetsko as your swing tackle and probably Chuma Doga or Matt Farniak as your swing guard. and Matt Fournier because you back up center. But training camp, who knows? You know, our fifth round picks hit. I mean, last season, all of them hit. The Vanilla Gorilla, I don't remember his name because his nickname only sticks with me. We put him on the practice squad because we're going to bring him back on a week later. Stupidly, we do that, knowing how good he is, thinking that he won't get snatched up. Washington takes him right up, and he plays in the interior line for him. Last year, he plays very, very good. Deron Bland played very, very good. Damone Clark played very, very good. Well, let's go. Got hurt, so he didn't play last season. Akeem Richards, our fifth round pick this year. Let's see, maybe he might be the real deal. He can play left tackle or left guard. He has long arms. He's very good at sealing off his blocks. He's better run blocker than pass blocker. And that's what we want. We want better run blocking linemen than pass blocking linemen because it works itself out that way. If you run the ball well, then pass blocking won't be as tough. Chris Gons, I think this defense can match Philly's 70 plus sacks from last year. Really, our Cowboys can match Philly's sack total last year. Yeah, we had 54 sacks last year. They had 70 something. They had like what 11 against the Giants in one game. That was kind of crazy. That kind of helped catapult them to getting above us. But 2023, I think this defense, even in this day and age, with people like Dano's opinion, I respect it. There's a lot of people out there that in this day and age that a defense cannot lead you to a championship. I do not believe that to be true. I think a defense good enough can lead you to a championship. In this 2023 defense, if Mozzie Smith is who we think he is, and Micah Parsons in his third season lets out a season that we haven't seen a defender have in 15 years, that this could be the best defense that we've put out in the history of our franchise and carry us as far as we go. Offense will complement the defense. If we're able to run the ball and control the time of possession and keep them fresh, that's even better. Because a rested defense, as you know, is a lot better than a gas tire defense. Our starting line, you're looking at Tank Lawrence, Mozzie Smith, Osi Odigizua, Micah Parsons. Behind them, Wolf Hunter, Damone Clark. Our three safeties that we usually employ, Wilson, Curse, Hooker, then Gilmore and Diggs. And then when we play nickel, Gilmore, Diggs, and Bland. We can play a lot of man coverage this year. Dan Quinn can do so many things now that he has Stephon Gilmore and Mozzie Smith that this defense, I think, can allow 15 points a game. So we'll see if that is possible. 15 points a game. I'm going to get that exact number of points allowed. If I find the calculator on this damn thing. You know what? I know what to do. If we allow 15 points a game, right? 15 times 17. You remember how to do math? Longhand. That'll be hell. I can't. I can't. Well, I think this season we're gonna put the best defense out there that we've ever had since 1960 to now. I predict we allow 15 to 17 points per game by the end of the regular season, and that during the playoffs we don't let anybody get over 20. That's how we win. Dak gets it in his head that he don't have to put up 40. Just like against San Fran, 20 was good enough to win. So our defense is going to do what they do. Allow 15 to 17 points a game this season. Be better than San Fran's. And we're going to meet them again in the playoffs. We met 3 times in a row in the 90s. They happen to be championship games. San Fran, we won the first 2. San Fran won the third one. This time around, San Fran won the first 2. We're going to win the third one. Comes back around. And we went out there and got the players just to do it. Also, just like San Fran did in 94. Went out and got the players just to do it. Just to beat us. Come on, man. I'm coming to a close here. I'm just trying to get back into the show so I can see the chats. Damn cricket phones are not worth a damn. I'll tell you that right now. Come on, man. Work with me. Guys, if y'all have not subscribed, I implore you to please do that. It is a free investment on your part. My first goal is to hit 500 subscribers by week 1, September 10th, to get the Giants. 1,000 is my real goal. If I can hit that by week 1, even better. I'm at around 340 right now, but I can reach it as quick as anything if y'all, Cowboy Nation, get my back. There we go. All right, cool. So I can see what Chris Gahn said. Chris Gahn said, my cousin, who's a Cowboys fan, also he thinks Israel Kwamu is going to be. Izzy, number 24, is technically safety, but he played good corner last year too. He is a defensive back as the definition of the word. He could play slot corner, he could play outside corner, he could play free safety. He is a awesome depth piece, champ piece. If Malik Hooker goes down, no problem. Israel Mukwamu filled that spot. Chiron Kurz gets hurt, no problem. Izzy filled that spot. Wilson gets hurt, Izzy can fill in, but not like Wilson plays. If Bland goes down, no problem. Izzy can come in and play that slot corner. If Diggs or Gilmore miss a game, Izzy can play and fill in for that one game. Izzy is an excellent depth piece. Marquise Bell behind him is also growing as a safety / corner. Our depth on defense is insane. Philly and us have about the same amount of depth on the edge. Our defensive tackles, let's take a quick look at that. They got old Hall of Famer here, Fletcher Cox. They got Jordan Davis. They got Jalen Carter. Right? Those are the 3 main interior trench guys. Dan, I'm talking to you. Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter, unproven. We haven't seen him play. Jordan Davis, we were not impressed last year. Us, we have Jonathan Hankins, a poor man's Fletcher Cox. Still plays pretty good. You got Mozzie Smith, and we hit on our first round picks. We think he's going to be the gorilla. Osi Odigizua. He is a very good pass rushing three tech defensive lineman. And if Quinton Bohanna, big old Bo, 360 pounds, if Dan Quinn can get him to the next step, man, could he eat up some space? Quinton Bohanna. He is my breakout player, Sam Williams. My X factor is Quinton Bohanna, because that's where it starts up front for your defense. If your defensive tackles can be mammoths and swallow up the offensive line, then the rest of your defense is free to run wild and do what they want to do. That's why the 2000 Ravens defense was so good, because they had two nose tackles that could have played in a 3-4 scheme, playing 4-3 next to each other. And they both swallowed up two linemen at a time. Sam Adams and the Goose. Rest in peace. Cowboys X Factor. I can definitely see it. I can definitely see it being up there. Welcome, Cowboys X Factor. I like that name, my man. I like that name, brother. What's your record prediction, Cowboys X Factor, this season? I know we have a tougher schedule. We got the NFC West opposed to the NFC North. We have the AFC East opposed to the AFC South. Those two divisions right there. And then our other AFC game is the Chargers. Last year was the Bengals, which I think is a tougher test. We beat the Bengals, and nobody gave us credit for that either. The last two seasons, we played both Super Bowl teams. 2021, we lost to Tampa by 2, and then we go to KC without Cooper or Lamb and lose. Held them 19. Then last season, we beat the Bengals and the Rams with a backup quarterback. Chris Gons. Charles, you have a good night, man. I subscribed already. Go Cowboys. Thank you for the excellent content always. Can't wait for football. Catch you on the next live chat. You'll get to 1K. I think so too, my man. Hey, brother, you still going? I had to step out. Yeah. Bottom line, we were still talking, doing what we do. Pretty much coming to an end. It's funny because title of this show was, "Can this defense be the best that we have had in the history of our team?" We know in the 70s we had some dominant defenses. In the 90s we did. In 03 we did. I think this 2023 squad could be the best defense that we've ever had since 1960. I believe that could be the case. And that would be allowing 15 to 17 points a game. If we could do that, our defense can carry us to the promised land. Our offense just has to complement it. And our special teams keep being special. Bring back Maher. I don't know why they're out on him. He had one freak-out game. He was money last season. Well, Robbie Gould, who can barely hit 50-yarders. Mason Crosby with the same problem. Ryan Suckup, who was just bad last year. Just bad. Maher has one freak-out game, and everybody's out on him. I don't get that. I do not get that. If Nick Folk gets cut, maybe him. This Aubrey kid from the USFL, we'll see. Kevontae Turpin, he'll probably take 2 back this year, being that he's had an off-season 2 rest. You get to 1,000 and much, much more. My predictions: 13-4, our Dallas Cowboys. Yep, 13-4. I say 14-3, my man. As long as we get the 1 seed, it's all good. I can tell you that much. Hey, I was just watching another YouTube channel. It made some Giants fans. He was trolling, huh? I like that. It's fun to be a troll. I'm surprised Eastside Herald hadn't shown up. Anytime someone's doing a live show, he always in Law's live show, trolling Mark Holmes. Anytime someone does a live show, he was on a last live show, he was in the chat. I was making fun of them signing, yeah, Daniel Jones, 40 million a year. You know, Saquon and the Giants did not come to a contract agreement, and he's saying that he's not going to be there week one. So if week one we go to New York, we go to New Jersey to the Meadowlands, and the Giants are going to play us sans Saquon, that's going to be a primer week one game. That's just going to be a primer for the Jets because that is their offense. Saquon is their offense. Without Saquon Barkley, they don't have an offense. So if he actually holds out like Le'Veon Bell did, man, week one is going to be a gift. It's going to be a fun Sunday night. They were trying to call Dak trash, but they signed. Yeah, the Giants want to call Dak trash. How many times has he lost to the Giants? Twice his rookie season. Other than that, he hasn't lost to the Giants since 2017. He swept the Giants. 2018, swept the Giants. Even the last game of the season, that was meaningless. That touchdown pass to Cole Beasley. One knee. We go for two, beat them 36-35. All they can say is Dak had 15 picks last year. Eli led the league in interceptions. Yeah, Eli was a interception machine. He had two special seasons. That was good enough to get him two Super Bowls, but, you know, Dak had 15 picks last year. Shit happens. Peyton Manning threw 6 picks in the game once. Dak's not going to throw 15 interceptions this year. The offense will not allow it. Mike McCarthy knows what Dak is. That's why Kellen Moore's gone. Because whenever Dak was throwing all those interceptions, why was Kellen Moore still dialing up 40 pass plays a game? We're going to have the number one defense. We're probably going to have a historically good defense this season. A great special teams. We're going to have a solid running game. Very solid. And then Dak is just going to have to make the throws when he needs to. Just like Troy in the early 90s. Like I said, Troy, whenever he only had 19 attempts for $120 and a touchdown, and Emmett ran for like 175 and the defense played shut down, he was happy because he won. Only do what you need to. If Troy needed to put up 40, he would. But if he didn't, why? If 20 points is enough to win a game, that's what he would do. Hey, Charles, one more thing. Speaking of trolls, this guy is on every Dallas Cowboy. Philadelphia, I've heard of him. Have you come across him? Have you come across with him? He's always on Mark Holmes' channel. Yeah, Philadelphia and him have a little thing going on. I've seen him. One guy said he was a numbers guy. I told him Daniel Jones is the quarterback rating is 52, Dak is 64. He was like, I don't care about quarterback ratings. Daniel Jones has one good season under Brian Dable, and they give him the bag. He's the most overpaid quarterback in NFL history. That's a fact. I don't think the Giants are going to be as good this year as they were last year. Last year, they caught a lot of teams by surprise. This year, they have issues with Saquon. Darren Waller's injury prone. They still don't have that number one receiver. They did get John Michael Smith. So the last 3 out of the last 4 drafts, they got their left tackle, their right tackle, and their center. So they are building that O-line, but them in Washington are going to fight it out for the 4th spot. Week 1 is going to be an easy win. I'm going to predict that now. We're going to beat the brakes off them. And then week 2, with our vendetta against Aaron Rodgers, we're going to want to put a whooping on him also. Only thing I forgot to do was thank them for signing Daniel Jones. Yeah, they invested in him, so he ain't going nowhere. So we get to play Danny Dimes for like the next 3 or 4 years for sure. Dak Prescott owns the Giants. Even the game where Dak broke his leg, we beat the Giants. That's how much he owns them. He owns them with a broken leg, still beats them. Shoot, man. What time is it? It's 11:32. Holy crap. I've got a house to start painting tomorrow. I got to wrap it up. All right, guys, check it out. Channel donation. Trying to get to Oxnard. I probably won't have time, but channel donation will help build the channel. Basically, microphone, studio equipment, a desktop just for this, so I can get the bells and whistles and the call online and all that stuff. This, I see other content creators that are not big, like Law, have their Cash App name edited. I don't know how to edit yet. Just have a Galaxy. The Cash App is money sign, lowercase c, lowercase m, 65466. I think you can see that. After week 18, whoever donates the most will get playoff tickets, maximum 3 persons. 50-yard line, lower deck. I'm not going to go cheap. Second place will get 2 jerseys of their choice. Home, away, alternate, custom made, doesn't matter. Third place, you get a Emmitt Smith Rookie of the Year card, probably be autographed by that time. If the donations to the channel are really good this season, the prices 2 and 3 will be better. So I'm gonna put that in the chat after this uploads also. So keep that in mind. The money sign, lowercase c, lowercase m, 65466. Charles Martinez is my name. If you do donate, let me know in the chat so I know it's you, and I can, as I'm documenting all season, I can add you up. So you don't donate and I get credit for it. But my word's my bond, and I got a huge deposit coming in December, so playoff tickets will not be a problem. Hopefully, we get the 1 seed, and I can send you to AT&T Stadium at 50-yard line, lower deck. Have a beautiful view of us going to the NFC Championship game. In conclusion, guys, seems to work for Mike Fisher. Anybody's watching this, you're watching it after it's uploaded. If you have not subscribed, this channel will become a diamond gem. I just need y'all to help me to get to a certain point, and it will skyrocket from there. If we can hit that subscribe button on 3, all together collectively, guys. 1, 2, 3, subscribe. If you did it, you're a real one. I love you for it. The like button on 3, 1, 2, 3, like. If you did it, you're a real one. I love you for it. Keep God first and foremost. He comes before everything, even this. So you keep in his righteousness, and everything else in your life will fall into place. I'm a living testimony of that. If you have any questions about that, let me know in the chat. It's my job to spread the word. You have a good night, Cowboy Nation. Have a good week. Hopefully, the next show I have will be us making a huge move, signing Dalton Reisner, trading for Quentin Nelson, or something crazy that Jerry Jones would have done in 2008 or in 95. We need the old Jerry to come back and make one more big splash move to solidify us as being the best team in our conference on paper as of right now. Only thing I forgot to do. Hey, bro, that paper is backwards on the screen. I film backwards, so it's kind of trippy. So, being that when I do the video, the screen's pointing at me, so like my ring finger, this is my left hand. It looks like my right. So then I had to make the sign. I had to write it backwards on the other side. It's not very legible. Yeah, I guess it is a little bit. Anyways, in the chat, I'm gonna put the Cash App name on there too, with the prizes and everything. It'd be nice to get donations to help build on this. I'm telling you guys, within 5-6 years, this channel is gonna be bigger than Mark Holmes, bigger than all these guys that y'all see. 30 years of watching this team, playing this game my whole life, being a student of the game. I'm bringing y'all first class content all day, every day. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's better. I know it's backwards. Yes, once I get that desktop, I'll be able, or just laptop, I'll be able to do live shows a lot better and a lot easier, and get that studio and get that mic and everything, and a really cool backdrop. This backdrop is pretty cool. It's all my Cowboy memorabilia, autograph hat, you know, special. This was from 2018 when we beat Philly in overtime. Amari Cooper's 3 touchdown game. That was a fun game to be at. Real fun. Hell of a fourth quarter. In overtime, he catches that tip pass, goes into the end zone. Shit, man, the whole stadium was rocking. I got to go, guys. I got to eat dinner. Hit the sack. Subscribe, like, and share. DC for life. This is our year, guys. I'm telling y'all, best roster I've seen since '95. That is for real better than the '99 roster, better than the '07, the '14, the '16, the '18, and the last 2 years. This roster is better than all those rosters. This is the time. We make one more big move, and we're really in it. And I mean, Dalton Reisner is just sitting there. Call him. He is a plug and play left guard. And Elliott, get over your shit, man. You made your money. Come back on a cheap deal. Be our power back as you've been the last few years. And protect Dak. Keep him upright and healthy. That's it, guys. Everybody that tuned in, I do appreciate it, man. It means a lot to me that I'm able to do live shows now. An hour and 41 minutes. So at exactly 1:42, I'm going to close it out, guys. I'll catch you on the flip side. Y'all be good. Be safe. I love each and every one of y'all. Cowboys for life. Catch y'all soon. Charles in Charge is out.